Hey everyone, this is a video on emotions and what they're for, why we have them as humans, and why they're so important, and why they're so important to express and not dismiss. So we've all heard, I'm sure, that and been told like, hey, don't push your feelings down, don't suppress your emotions because they'll come out in a big volcano or explosive manner later. And so we're going to go through why that happens, because it's very true. If you suppress your feelings, they build and build and build. And the reason this happens is because our emotions are there to tell us if our human needs are met or not met. So our so-called positive emotions or feelings are what we experience when our needs are met, right? It's our mind body telling us, hey, everything's great, I feel great, this is good, our needs are met. Well, on the other side of that is our needs not being met, or our needs being blocked actively by other people or circumstances. And that creates our so called negative emotions that we experience that are pretty unpleasant for us typically. And we have our primary, for all emotions, we have our primary, secondary, and tertiary. But for the negative emotions, those are the ones we tend to push down the most because we don't have very good, well developed emotional intelligence. And so we push down our primary ones of feelings like jealousy, envy, sadness, or apprehension, or sorrow, or loneliness. The list goes on and on. The secondary emotions then pop up because it's like, hey, our needs still aren't met. Like, we didn't listen to those primary ones. When we expressed them, nobody listened to us. And instead, we were actually shamed. People told us to, like, hey, don't go there. Like, I'm not comfortable with emotions. I'm not comfortable with you expressing those emotions. And it's just like talking, like, we have to do it, practice it. Like I mean, it's anything we do. There's only a few instincts as humans we're born with. And so we learn everything, and we have to learn emotional expression and receptiveness and things just like anything else. And so if we haven't developed that emotional intelligence, then we aren't comfortable with those emotions when they're expressed. And if we don't develop emotional intelligence, it's because of shame. We get shamed for emotions because we have emotions all the time. They're constant. Like, as humans, our emotional experience is always there, and our human needs are always there. So it's not like they're not present, and some people just don't happen to have the opportunity to develop them or not. It's because shame actively tells us, hey, you being human and having emotions is not okay. Like, you're not good enough. That's not valuable. That's not a valuable thing. And you, as human, aren't valuable because us being human, like, emotions is part of being human. Human needs is part of being human. And that's what shame does, is it tells us, hey, you're not valuable, your experience isn't valued, you're not valued, you have a net worth that we can assign monetary to, we'll buy, sell you, kill you, each other. We do these things that are shame-based cognitive thought processes in our head that devalue ourselves and others. So if we don't value emotions, we don't interact with them, we don't do it, we try to stay real flat, suppress those emotions. And this is why with a lot of mental illnesses we see a really flat affect, and that's what we call like facial expressions, where they talk, or we talk, and we have like a real flat affect. And so they'll be talking about something like their parent died or something tragic, and they will come off as like, yeah, my mom died and it was really sad, I guess. And so this is like common in like mental illness because we've been shamed so much to that we learn to not express our emotions. And so you'll see people who with real low emotional intelligence, they have a real flat affect, and they might smile, but it's kind of like a fake smile and say, okay. And we don't have these like real genuine connections, and this leads to a lot of loneliness. And this is why we have the loneliness pandemic or epidemic in our world right now, but especially here in the U.S., because we can't be our authentic selves. We can't express emotions because when we do, we get shamed for it. And we learn it's not safe to share our experience and be authentic with ourselves and our emotions. And so when we have our primary emotions and those get shamed and we're not allowed to express them and have our needs met, then we have to escalate, right? Because we have to have our needs met. So our mind and body are like, oh, let's take it to the next level, okay? It's like we need some fear and anxiety to kind of get the message through. We need to get some heart rate elevated, get a little bit into that fight or flight response, just not too much though. Just we just want to like, hey, get our needs met so we don't start getting mentally and physically ill. And then that the fear anxiety gets dismissed again, right? And so people are like, hey, to ourselves even and to each other, because we've experienced shame, have internalized shame, or we're doing it to somebody else, we express like, hey, like just don't be anxious, take some deep breaths, you need to calm down, just relax, like practice some gratitude, do some deep breathing, some mindfulness, like you just need to be more mindful. And those are all these like really great shamey hidden things of like, you're not enough, right? You just need to do something and you're not doing good enough. And the reality is like, no, our needs aren't being met. That's why we're having these emotions. These emotions are very valid. And so when we get dismissed again at that secondary level of emotion, our minds and body are like, we got to escalate again to the anger level. And that's the one where we can have rage. And that's where the level where people tend to learn to fear emotion, because a lot of people, because they're so used to having their primary and secondary emotions dismissed, they just go right to anger. A lot of men especially, because like we get our emotions shamed like crazy. We're typically not allowed to express our emotions. We're not allowed to be receptive. We're not allowed to be emotional creatures, even though we are human. And so that anger hits right there, and that's that last resort to be like, hey, I need my needs met. Like I'm getting sick mentally and physically because I'm not getting the food I need. I'm not getting the sleep and rest I need. I'm not getting the exercise I need. I'm not getting the love and belonging I need, or my esteem needs met. I don't feel like I belong. I'm lonely. Like all of these things that lead to us getting sick. And chronic illness is horrible right now. The worst it's ever been in probably the world in history, but especially here in the US. Like we all have chronic. I shouldn't say we all, because there's some people out there that are fortunate enough not to, because they have been able to express and be authentic. But if we don't express those emotions and those needs and we keep pushing them down, it has to come out one way or another. Either one side, we keep pushing it down, developmental illness with that flat affect, have to create delusions and different dysfunctional types of thinking in order to keep suppressing those emotions and human needs, or we have the violent outbursts, which are still dysfunctional and destructive to our lives. And it's very, very common because we just don't allow ourselves and others to develop our emotional intelligence with practice. So basically, summarize this up. We have our human needs. Our emotions are there to tell us if they're met or not. If you find that you're having a lot of secondary and tertiary emotions like anxiety, secondary emotions like anxiety, fear, agitation, irritability, go see a therapist or somebody, get some help. My videos are never for actual professional advice, services, or treatment, so go get the help you need. Do that mindfulness reflecting stuff, but not in the way that people tell you to do it to shame you. Do it in that like, oh hey, like what need isn't being met right now, because my emotions are communicators. They're there to tell me and others what's happening. Like, hey, like I'm jealous because you have that need met and I don't. Like, and I want that need met, of course, because I'm human. Like, and that's a healthy emotion to have. And jealousy and envy get shamed like crazy, like for some reason. Because I mean, all emotions do, because shame has to attack those. Because if emotions were invulnerable, or if emotions weren't vulnerable to being attacked by shame, then shame wouldn't be able to take root in our thinking and cognitive processes, because emotions would say, hey, like there's shame blocking a need, and then we'd be like, oh yeah. But so shame works because it actually attacks our emotions first. So it attacks our human needs, and emotional expression is a human need essentially. But emotions are a like core type of like human need, where it's there to tell us about our other human needs and whether they're being met or not. So that's why we have so many emotions. They're constant, they're always there, and they're always communicating to us. So they're real important to just appreciate and accept and acknowledge and reflect on and be like, hey, I'm having this and this is actually good. This is healthy. This is me being human and being authentic. And then find people that you can be safe with expressing that. So, because it's not always safe for us to express our emotions, unfortunately. And so if it's not, make sure, I mean, I would say get those people out of your life who aren't safe for you to be emotional around, because it's going to cause you a lot of mental and physical health issues in the long run. But relationships are important, but find people in your life who you can be emotionally authentic with, and so that you can have those emotions validated. You can start developing that emotional intelligence, and we can all live better lives, because right now our poor level of emotional intelligence in our society is really causing a lot of harm to a lot of us, and or to all of us really, because we all suffer from it. So whether it's we're afraid of school shootings from walking down the street and being raped or mugged, to people breaking into our house because they want food because they don't have enough food. It all connects. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this video off here because it's starting to get a little long, and our attention spans ain't that long these days. So I will do some more, and look forward to hearing from you guys. Leave some comments, likes, and subscribe. Share these videos. Let me know if parts of them are helpful, or like what I could do to make them more helpful or whatnot. But yeah, anyway, take care. See y'all.